Day 61 of the Nosara lock-in. It's been a while since I made one of these, and I have some updates. I reached clarity. I don't remember if my last update I named whether I needed clarity or not, but clarity effectively became more calls with more people about the business, and then the actions required to make that happen will inherently drive the business forward. And ultimately, I've decided that there's going to be two ways that I'm going to make that happen and two ways that I've already been making that happen. The first way being cold outreach, good old fashioned cold outreach. This is sending an email to an author or thought leader that I admire and want to work with. And this has gone well. Actually, I've developed some good relationships out of this already. And the insight that I had here is that the kind of spray and pray, send hundreds or thousands of emails, which I wasn't doing, but kind of had an aversion to, is not the way, not for this kind of business. The way is actually personalized emails to each person that I want to work with, and then giving them a good reason to get on the call, to get on the phone with me. Beyond that, not just semi-personalized, but really personalized, as in, here's my story, here's why I'm reaching out, here's why your work speaks to me directly, and why I have a unique perspective on your business and why I might be able to help you out. That telling that story has been a total shift for me in terms of getting responses, because I first kind of started this out. People were opening the email, but they weren't responding, and I was like, what's going on? Why are they not responding to this email? Some people were responding, and then that flip to not just how do I send more cold emails to the right people, but how do I send the best cold email that this person has received, not only all day, not only all month, but all year, which is not a high bar because nobody sends actually good personalized cold emails. People just say, how do I use AI to personalize this at scale, or some other strategy like that. So at least for kind of high-end service-based relational bespoke skill type businesses, that's my new preference. And the other thing, so there's cold email and then there's actually making content. So actually I kind of started making content with these Nosara updates, but that's not direct oriented around the business. It's more like me building the business and kind of sharing as I go. I've started actually posting author, thought leader, kind of authority-based content around the things that I know, the things that I'm learning, the things that I'm doing with clients, and then sharing that as insights in order to book calls and then grow the business that way. That is early stage right now. I've been writing a lot. I've been testing different shots, different styles of videos, from green screen, sharing insights, to kind of talking head yaps, to B-roll with text over screen. I'm going to kind of test everything. I know what works for clients, but I'm going to figure out what works for me. And that's kind of a longer term play that will overall build the brand and then help book calls and then help get good information out to more people, regardless of whether we work together. So those are my two kind of outreach growth priorities in terms of the sales and marketing of the business. The other two priorities are basically client delivery, so keeping the existing business running and then growing their businesses. So like that's kind of where most of my time goes. And then the fourth thing is actually systems and leverage around that delivery. So building the operations such that the same things are happening with each client each month, and that instead of just kind of solving the next creative challenge, which tends to come up on a daily basis with the number of people I work with, solving those creative challenges actually is actually less needed because there's more systemization in terms of the actual day-to-day and then what's happening on a monthly basis, because that's all handled. And then creative problems solving only comes up with creative problems, not just with getting existing things done, which was less scheduled before, even though it worked. So that's the update, kind of consolidating into those four priorities. Basically, cold outreach, very bespoke, very personal, emails that I'm proud to send only, content, becoming a better content creator, becoming better at providing value, mastering the algorithm, client operations, and leverage/systems for the business. So can't believe it's actually 2 months in. It's July 31st right now. It's kind of, in some ways it feels like longer, in some ways it's flown by, and I'm in it for the long haul. For however long this takes to scale the business and effectively complete the lock-in, I guess I'll know when it's done. I have certain numeric goals to it. I'm in for it. So it feels good to continue to consolidate and push everything else away and then prioritize work at the forefront, to the point where in the evening, I'll just work all evening. And then that's the priority. It's continue to work. And then if I'm not working, it's either reading or maybe talking to people, socializing a little bit, but I'm also realizing that socialization, sadly, is is often in direct conflict with logging in, because if you have 1 hour and I'm catching up with a friend versus 1 hour and I'm working on the highest priority task, ultimately the highest priority task is actually pushing me forward. And of course, I'm not giving up friends entirely or any of that, but there over these 2 months there have been waves of more socialization, kind of more being around people more often, and obviously that's nourishing, and I'm not going to go in a hole entirely, and yet I'm aware that doing that in excess, unfortunately, is just not supportive to locking in and building shit. So I think that's probably why one big reason why most people don't accomplish big things, because the social pull prevents those extra hours. And then people that have an easier time saying no socially, whether that's from an innate desire not to, actually not liking people, or just being kind of ruthless at compartmentalizing work and other things and then prioritizing more of a work thing so that they're okay with saying no more, are way more likely to make more progress. There are counterexamples to this, obviously. And for me, continued dialing down of social stuff, not to zero, just down, to dial up the actual hours worked, is a priority. I heard Charlie Morgan say this on a video recently, which was, you should be, if you're kind of going this extreme lock-in mode to build something great, try working for 12 hours a day. And he's like, if you can't work for 12 hours a day, stare at a computer screen for 12 hours a day. And then the insight there is that, like, no matter what, it's like like at a certain point, volume matters a lot, because the thing is, like, even if you're not working on the highest leverage thing for 8 or 9 or 10 of those 12 hours, at least 2 of those, because you have so much time, you still get those extra laps to build the important things that need building that would not otherwise get built at all if you didn't work for 12 hours that day. So that's been a lot of this week, has been maxing out time working and then actually really enjoying it too. And then being okay with, should I, it's 2 hours before bed, should I wind down? And then it's like, well, no, actually I should work more, and that's okay. And that's not going to cause any negative effects right now, because I'm working on growing the business and doing things I want. Just because my mind is engaged in work-related tasks doesn't mean that I won't be able to go to sleep later on time. So that kind of shift between, I should wind down, I should do this. At a certain point, obviously, go to bed. I was joking earlier a couple of weeks ago that I need to get a tattoo on my arm, which just says "go to sleep," as a reminder of how important that is. But I digress. Maybe I need another one that says, like, work up until you go to sleep during this lock-in, and then forget this rule afterwards. So anyways, that's it. More insights, I'm sure, that I haven't shared here, but it's fun making these updates. And yeah, that's it. 61 days. See you at the next one.